Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Charlie Adashe. So guys, let's jump into this video and this discussion or this conversation without wasting much time. So like I've said before, sometimes I want to have conversations like this and I just want to talk and voice out my own opinion, and if possible hear your own opinion. So if at the end of the video you have your own opinion on this topic, please feel free to comment at the comment section and let me know what you think about this. So guys, this has been itching me to talk about for like 2 or 3 days now that I've seen this topic on social media. It was actually on my Facebook space where I saw a wedding invite that was put out there being cancelled, and at first I was wondering what that was. I tried to check the names to see if it was somebody I knew and stuff like that, but when I checked it, they apparently they are not people I know. So after that, I think like a day after, I saw Instablog put it, and they were saying that this lady cancelled the wedding simply because the husband to be, or her fiance, said they were going to be staying in the family house after the wedding, so she decided to cancel the wedding. And then when I came back to my Facebook space, I began to see more conversations, and on some groups on Facebook I'm on, I was seeing people discussing about this set topic, and someone came to say that, oh, the guy in question is his cousin. And he tried to narrate the story that the guy called the lady to tell her that, oh well, see you, because of the financial implication of things right now, the way things are right now, preparing for the wedding and even having to pay your bride price, which was over 500k. Because of all that, I may not be able to get a place. I think the lady asked him where they were going to be staying after the wedding. And so he started to explain of the costs, the financial constraint he's having at the moment, preparing for the wedding, having to pay bride price and all that. So he said that, oh, after the wedding they would stay in the family house for a while until he's able to maybe put himself together, and then they would get an okay place that they would move into. But the lady did not have it and went on to cancel the wedding. You understand? Because she said she believes she cannot stay in a family house. And it was funny to me actually when I saw that. And I just thought to myself, Chalia, can you actually stay with a man in his family house? Like maybe after wedding, can you move to a family house to stay with your husband, for a while before eventually you get your place? And I've been thinking, and so I just said I should say my own opinion to the story making rounds on social media. So let me just start this way. For me, it depends, and whatever it is I'm saying here, it's my own personal opinion. You understand how I feel about things. Like I said, for me it depends. When I thought about this issue, or when I saw this story, and I just wanted to and I just put myself in the picture. For me it depends. It depends on the time, it depends on what I be, or it depends on my age and the age of my fiance, at the period of time. So it depends on a couple of things. First of all, I would say if it were a younger me, if it were a younger Chalia, way younger, like early 20s, starting life, and having someone too who is that young and probably just starting life, yes, I can consider staying in a family house. So let me use myself as a case study, right? Back then in school, I met someone that we dated for a while, and at that time, and at that time I was still in school, and he just finished school, went for his youth service, and I was still like in my 400 or 500 level, and I knew at some point, he was talking about marriage and wanting us to get married at the time. But for me, I didn't feel ready because I actually wanted to finish school. I wanted to serve and do all that. And back then, I was only maybe like 22, yeah, maybe 21, 22. And he was maybe tops 25. We're still very young, and everybody we're just trying to finish school, finish service, get a footing in life, or at least get a bearing, not even footing, bearing in life. And back then too, when I visited him, he was always at the family house. Yes, he had his room, at the side, but it was the family house. You must pass through. His mother would have to see you. Do you understand? So at that point, we were just starting. And for me, if I had gotten married then, then staying in the family house would not be a problem, because obviously we're just starting life, we're just building, so this takes me back to the story, because some people were now commenting, and I was seeing some comments like, oh, this lady does not want to build, this lady does not want, people had different opinions, this lady does not want to start up with somebody. And so for me, I'm like, at what age? That was the question I asked. At what age, honestly? So, like, back to my story now, back to using me as a case study. I was 21 or 22, this guy was 25. We're quite young, So at that time, yes, there was a building to do. So one can afford to stay with a man in that scenario. In a family house, that's, to me, at that time, I could have stayed, because yes, we're building something rather. And of course, I knew this young man, and I knew he was promising. I knew that it was just a matter of time. He was going to begin to do things and eventually have his own. So it was not a problem. So I would have been able to stay with him at that time in a family house. But then, let's look at it now at this age. Do you understand? Or a lady in her late 20s, or a lady in her early 30s, who is already building something, or has even built something for herself. You understand? Would you want to take her back? And okay, well, let me put it this way: a lady that has even left the house and is probably on her own, would you now want to take her back to a family house to want to stay? Honestly, if it is me at this time, no. At my age right now, I'm in my mid-30s. At my age right now, I cannot stay with a man in a family house. Guys, whatever it is anybody has to say, but a man at this age, because for me, if I'm in my mid-30s now, anybody I would have to marry would have to be around my age bracket. Yes, that's just it. Either older, or my mate, or a little younger. But the truth is, at this age, if you have to be staying in a family house, or say, okay, you're trying to, no, it is not an excuse. And for me, it shows the height of irresponsibility on all levels. Honestly, if I meet a man right now, or I'm supposed to be with somebody, and then you are still in your family house, bro, I'm sorry, we cannot be an item. We cannot be an item. It's expected that for a man at a certain age, you understand, no matter, I'm not saying all fingers are the same, but no matter what, you should be able to be out at a certain age on your own, doing your own thing. Do you understand? You should even be able to have your girlfriend, even before she turns to a fiance or something, come to visit you in your own personal house, whether rented or you built it or you bought it yourself, but it should be your own personal space and not the family house. Talk more of going all the way to wedding, and then you want to know. So for me, I feel it depends on the time, it depends on the age. Do you understand? So, and that was why for me, when I saw that thing, I asked, at what age? How old are these people in question? If yes, they are pretty young, then yes, I can say, okay, maybe she doesn't want to build. But if she is at a certain age and probably doing something for herself, it's only expected that, you understand, the man too is doing something on his own and can afford a place of his own. And that also made me want to question, okay, you, the lady that is canceling the wedding, when you were dating or when you people were courting, where were you going to visit that man? Was it his family house? Were you going to his family house, or you were going to his own house? If you were going to his family house when you guys were courting, then it just shows, or it just tells that you should be ready to stay in a family house. Or it just shows you should know that this guy does not have his place, and he's in his family house. So what do you expect? Do you understand? So when you were courting, where were you going to see him? If he was in a family house, what do you expect? But then on the second thought, right now that I'm talking, I just thought of the fact that this happens most especially in the part of Nigeria I come from, North Central, where a lot of course, I'm, like I said, I'm not saying this to shade guys or throw, my people under the bus or something. But I also know that people from the part of the country where I come, a lot of guys don't like to move out of family house until they are getting married. And then that's when they are now looking for a 2-bedroom, or they're just looking for an empty apartment so that the lady's family can come and tush it up. Yes, because there's something in the North Central. I'm not sure about up north, but in the North Central, yes, and some parts of the north like Adamawa and maybe Maiduguri and some of those places. I know there's something called Gara. Yes, there's something called Gara. Gara is when your parents bring household items for you when you marry. In fact, when you find parents that are well-to-do, they buy new sets of chairs, they make your bed, they furnish your kitchen, they furnish the entire house. And I know a lot of guys in the north central region love to rely on that, so they don't work to have their own thing. They are just relaxed, waiting to marry one girl, and then her parents come to furnish the house. So it's just before that wedding that they begin to look for an apartment, and trust me, it's an empty apartment they can only get. Then they await for the girl's parents to furnish it for them. So probably that's the situation that this guy has been in the family house, and he was just waiting to get married before, you know, he gets his own place and move into. And now financial wahala, final issues don't choke him, so he can't even afford to get the house. So for me, like I said, and whatever it is I've said is my own personal opinion. For me, it depends on the timing. It depends on where I am in life. A younger Chalia, yes, much younger Chalia, would agree to stay with a man in a family house because yes, we're building something. But at this age, no, I cannot stay with a man in a family house because I expect that you would have built something reasonable at this age. I'm not saying you should be an odogu. I'm not saying you should have all that, but to a reasonable extent, you should have built something, because at this age, me too have built something, so we should meet somewhere. At this age, no woman wants to be with a man that is trying to build. Every woman wants to be with a man that has built to an extent. Of course, women are not saying, yes, you should be Obigubana or you should be Dangote. No, but at least you should have something of your own at a certain age. So beyond a certain age, no woman wants to hear issue of building, and that is the honest truth. And any man beyond, let me say 28, still talking of building, you cannot build, I'm sorry to say, but you're just lazy. At the age of 28, 29, 30, for me, I think a man should begin to have his acts together. He should have even moved out of family house and already putting things in place for himself, ready to start a family. Yes, I say it's unapologetical. And if you are offended, then you fall in that circle and you need to repent. So guys, forgive me, like this topic you have been itching me to talk about. I actually even wanted to get somebody to have like a conversation with this person, but I think I'll still get somebody and we'll have a conversation on this channel about this topic. But so guys, tell me what you feel about this topic. If you're a lady, can you stay with a man in his family house after wedding, maybe for like 2 years before eventually you get your place to move into? So let me know what you think, and if you like this video, please why not subscribe to the channel and comment, share, like this video. And guys, I will see you guys soon on another topic. Take care of yourselves. Bye.